Today I thought we should focus our attention to what I call the Great War. It is the great war of our time. It is the only war that the end is inconceivable. It is the only war that is unseen, but fought by many. The Great War is creeping into our houses, into our communities, into the world. Up until now, we had a moral universe away from reality. We would go to the realms of God and rest our heads when we were weary. We'll go and contemplate what will come next. What will we do next? Waiting for the answer to come and knowing that we did not have to worry about a time limit on how we prayed or when we prayed. We used to believe that everywhere was a place for God. Now, there's no more room at the table for God. For amongst you is a plethora of problems. Amongst you is the danger that lies within the next moment. The danger that lies within the next hour. The danger that lies within the next day, the next week, the next year. There are more and more tragedies each and every day going on in communities all across this country and this world. We believe that we at one point saw peace and stability, and we had begun to build our spirituality into our homes. Our homes usually used to be the refuge away from the darkness of the wilderness of the world. We used to come home and be able to relax. We used to be able to come home and sit down and spend time with the family, eat dinner all together at the table. But somehow, we have become divided. Somehow bringing up religion is divisive. Bringing up your personal beliefs are private. Asking questions is no more allowed. Teaching our children scriptures, we no longer do. Teaching our children to pray before they go to bed, we no longer do. Somewhere between being a single mother, working 2 jobs to put food on the table, and just trying to survive the life that she is dealt with, has become the norm. A marriage that once flourished and grew slowly becomes history, withering away from the scene of reality. We used to be able to go to church and trust we must realize now that the enemy has infiltrated the mosque, the temple, the synagogue, the churches. And he is fattening you up before he goes for the juggler. They are sheep in wolf clothing, timid and shy. For when the word of God must be spoken, often you hear silence. We listen to the language of the new generation, and we tell our friends that it's inappropriate. We tell our friends of what we heard, yet we stood there and did nothing. I grew up in a community where these obscene things would happen and no one would stand up. No one would say anything. People got away with doing whatever they wanted. Fear was the driving force of life. And I can only speak of that because I did 14 years in a community where those were abused, those who are taught the theory of oppression, which means that you oppress somebody so long that they begin to oppress themselves once you remove your foot off their necks. Once you release them from their bondage, they return back to it. Because that's the only way of life they know. I knew kids that were A students all through school. Got their high school scholarship, their high school diploma and scholarships, and threw it all away to be on the corner. The women in our community had a reputation to live inside the community and date different guys all the time. One relationship will end and they go find another one. They did not have the strength and the willpower to dig themselves out of the ditch. But why would they? Because they have spent generations in that community. To them, it was paradise. To them, it was home. Down the street was their cousins and their aunts and their uncles stayed out there. They had cousins. They did not seek to strive higher than what they were. We are not even seeing the dangers before us, nor the dangers that have happened in the past. We refuse to liberate ourselves, thus we refuse to liberate those who deserve to be liberated. Instead of gossiping with your friends, oh, she pregnant again. She already had 4 kids by 3 different baby daddies, and that's just trifling, you know. And she's not married. I've heard the old people gossip about the young people. But once, when they were young, they were wild, uncontrollable. The only difference is there were honor amongst men who realized that when they created life, they made themselves a wife so that they'd be able to take care of their children together. It may have not been love, but it was part of the code of respect. It was part of the moral fabric. That in the old times we had believed that when we did something, we were responsible. Now in the new age, there is so many others to blame for the plight besides ourselves. I say shame on all the religions for not being able to correct a problem that was small. Now it is great and it is spreading throughout the world. Watch the MTV and BET and all these other shows that shows women being degraded, that shows families falling apart, and they're calling them reality series, and your children are sitting down watching them with you. You are not even putting them to bed. You are sitting down with your young children watching films. It isn't until you're an adult that you realize that the cartoons you once watched used to have suggestions in them, innuendo. But they're cartoons for children. Our sex lives used to be our own personal business. We held on to our virginity as long as we could until we found somebody worthy enough to be able to stand up and be man enough and say, will you marry me? Was not concerned about sex, but making sure they had somebody to co-invest into a future life with. Now the coalition of baby mamas and baby daddies arguing over who should take responsibility for the child. He gets dragged off the court and she is laughing, thinking that it's funny. The tension between them being felt by their children. The great war of spirituality is before us and we cannot even see it. First it was diluted. Now it's coming in heavy consecration. We must find our way back to the moral center. We must begin to rebuild what has been damaged. Our reputation has been damaged. Our moral fibers has been damaged. Our ethics has been smashed to pieces. They called us once kings and queens, prophetess and prophets. Because we spoke to each other about enlightening each other, about a book that I just read that empowered me, made me want to take on used to share that with each other. We used to talk about the news and what was going on together. Everybody was informed. Everybody was paying attention to what the government was doing, to what the governor was doing, to what the mayor was doing, down to their city council. They were paying attention and they was checking them at every stop. Whether they had to call in the NAACP or the Better Business Bureau, they used to have people afraid. For when they started speaking up, they sound prophetic. Their voices had the angelicness in it. The divine spirit was speaking. But now, the darkness is creeping, and we're slithering around like snakes, hoping that the darkness won't see us, won't visit our family. Some of us only see our family at times of funeral. Because we have grown so far apart that we entrench ourselves in a standard of living that we should not be living. We should be uplifting each other and each other's arms. We used to walk lockstep with each other. Malcolm X faded by a bullet. Martin Luther King silenced by a bullet. They were speaking prophetic justice, prophetic equalness, prophetic hope, prophetic change. They were not afraid to stand up front of all those who came to hear them speak. They was not afraid. They were open-minded. They were open-hearted. They gave amongst themselves what they had. There was a coalition between them and the rest of the world. And they was not afraid to take on those who sat in authority and made decisions for their lives. I am speaking now, warning you that the Great War is getting bigger. I am once again standing in the gap. I am once again saying that the Great War is over morality, that we have to do something about what we're doing and what we're teaching and what we're allowing our children to do, playing those games, that shoot 'em up games and those killing games, thinking that they're not feeling anything. They're feeling a sense of power that they can go out to the community and put fear in the hearts of the elderly, put fear in the hearts of the Gentile and the meek. They believe that they own the streets, that they own the neighborhood. When I was growing up, I felt the fear, hearing the gunshots as I go to bed, wondering if one of those bullets would just happen to stray and hit me. So I crawled and laid on the floor next to my mother. Would not sleep in my room because I was too afraid of what might happen if I slept in my room. The Great War is happening. The devil is moving in on our families. The devil is moving in on you. The devil is moving in on your community. The devil is wreaking havoc across this world. All you have to do is sit down and pay attention, watch the news for 20 minutes, and you will see that he is consuming all that is in his sight. What he once built, he is now destroying. He is trying to break our faith. This is a spiritual war. A war that we cannot allow him to win. We are all children of God and servants of God. It is upon us our ordained right to fight back. It is our authority from our divinity within us to teach the young folks the right way. We cannot be afraid of them. They must begin to bow and be able to respect their elders as we used to because of the knowledge that we had, because of the wisdom that we had, not because we were forcing them to, but we were making them humble by the word itself. We were making them humble by making them see themselves in the mirror. We paid attention to our children. We paid attention to our households. We made sure that our arguments were far away from our children so that they would not hear us fight. So that they may believe in the possibility of marriage. Not every woman is a Jezebel, but we have begun to turn them into one. And it's not even their faults, but we blame them. We curse them. We call them sinners. But the real sin is the men who touched them, who broke their hearts, who stole their virginity before they was old enough to be able to make the decision for themselves. We have raised our boys to be hard and not soft, so they beat on their women. So they take to the streets, selling dope and all kinds of things, refusing to get a job and make a decent wage to make a decent life for themselves. What I'm here to tell you is that the Great War has begun. Look at how many people is unemployed, how many people is on food stamps, how many people living check to check, how many people complaining about the price of gas, how many people complaining about the price of milk, and how much it costs to feed a family. Those who going to work with a tank that's barely on E and trying to hope that they get there and back. Those who secretly go into the thrift stores. What I'm telling you is the devil has infiltrated the house of God, but we cannot allow him to infiltrate our souls. We must be ready for this great war.